Good afternoon again. This is pertaining to the previous video message pertaining to Pepsi. You know, it happened again about 20 minutes ago. I was walking away from the Dollar Tree store, and a usual old corrupt old gay got into the area traffic sound saying the Pepsi's the devil. You know, they're really outrageous. You know, you present anything that's well, I should say you work on anything that's really sensible, and then they react by saying, starting more of their outrageous rumoring and slander, you know. So anyway, they're disrupting as much as they can from traffic again, and I just want to say that I think that people should be able to have whatever kind of soft drink that is nicely sold in the grocery stores as they want. When I was a kid in Miami, I remember that I used to have, probably most often I had 16-ounce Pepsis. And us boys used to go around to the construction sites. There were hundreds of houses under construction in the area where we lived in the southwest area, Kendallwood. So collecting, construction guys usually left a lot of bottles around, so we picked up all the bottles and went to a grocery store, got the deposits, and I usually got a 16-ounce Pepsi. On the way back from the same grocery store, I remember there was an old mechanical machine where I usually bought 10-ounce Cokes. So when I was a kid, I enjoyed having both, and I didn't know that there was any such thing as any possible strife about them. But later in life, I started to learn about matters a little bit more, and without doubting or having any suspicion about the Pepsi product at all, I remember having some doubts about some of their advertising, and I think it was in about 2005 that Pepsi spent $1 million for somebody's new advertising idea and changed what had previously been their symmetrical looking globe design to having a wider white not misshapen but differently shaped design. And to me, it indicated, it looks harmless enough, but it just looks enough different that caused concern, because the Pepsi logo is advertised, is listed as being a globe, defined as a globe. When the globe is symmetrical, it looks okay, balanced nicely, but when they change the ad, it looks like something like a graph of a measuring scale or something. Off the scale a little bit, deviating. So because of that advertising, I ended up boycotting Pepsi. For years, I didn't have any Pepsi at all, except maybe occasionally from a soda fountain if they used the old logo instead of the new. And another detail I remember noticing, and the only reason I noticed it, is because during that same time frame, I was working on studies against threats of rogue submarine hazards. I read an article practicing for doomsday article in Time magazine that I've mentioned many times before, in which it was alleged that a particular submarine became independently the 6th largest nuclear power in the world while it was at sea. So, because of concerns pertaining to the threat of something hijacking a submarine or submarines, that I noticed that in one Pepsi design of a bottle that the red, white, and blue coloring was in a way with the lettering design that made what looked similar to like an indication of a red conning tower design in between the lettering of the red part of the globe symbol. Now, I know that's partly ridiculous, but I noticed it, and it might actually just been a coincidence without any kind of planning about it pertaining to the company. But it did look similar, and it reminded me of the old Big Red concern. So that was another worry. And so anyway, but mainly the worry was when the logo was changed. Whenever that happened, sometime right around then, right after, is when I started boycotting Pepsi. Otherwise, I was having them frequently through the early part of the 2000s, 2002, 3, 4. And, it was just like anyone else. You don't normally don't think that much about products. What's available, what's convenient. So since the previous report, there had been concerns said again, so I wanted to elaborate that although I didn't have any evidence and didn't even have any suspicion really pertaining to the company having any involvement in any submarine conspiring, that there was just that one particular bottle design that I had noticed. That was all. So, however that might have been elaborated about, or whomever reports of concern that had so much other different detail were worked on by others of authorities, I don't know. So pertaining to Pepsi, I just want to say that that was the only concern that I had that might have indicated being something of the alleged Big Red conspiring. So like I say, that was about all pertaining specifically to Pepsi. There was one other detail that I simply noticed simply from being on the roadside because of a truck that passed by. And I think others have noticed it also, and I mentioned it, that there's a different company that uses a globe design logo similar to the original Pepsi, except it's all brown. And because it's a petroleum company named, I think it's named PetroAlliance. So I don't know anything about that company either. But all I noticed was that the symbolism that their design resembled the Pepsi design, except that the globe with the old, similar to the Pepsi, how the Pepsi globe logo used to look, except it was all brown. Okay, that's all. That's a matter of the oil company, as a matter of race or anything. Because some people like to start racial problems about colors. So anyway, I just wanted to finish that. Another detail previous to when I boycotted because of the new logo. I've been, for a couple of years now, or maybe just around a year, I've been occasionally having Pepsi again anyway, because there had been so much time span, and any possible controversy that existed, I assume probably would have been resolved. And there's so many innocent people that purchase the product. Nobody's guilty about buying any particular soda product. But another detail that was of concern previously is that there is a book actually called The Cola Wars. The Cola Wars. I forget who wrote it, or I don't remember the copyright. It's in a written file somewhere, and it describes the competition between the big two producers, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola. I think eventually they ended up partly merging. I don't know that detail either. But detail of the early history of PepsiCo, however, is that back, I think it was in the early 60s, or maybe the late 50s, when the product Yoo-Hoo, the Yoo-Hoo chocolate flavored beverage was getting popular, that Pepsi decided to try to compete against the Yoo-Hoo brand by introducing something that they errantly named the Pepsi Devil Shake. So anyway, that I don't think that they probably didn't mean anything really, seriously bad about it, but I think just the name of it kind of doomed the product to failure, and the particular product did fail quickly. I forget whether it was on the market for less than a year, maybe. So they learned from that mistake, and hopefully there isn't any kind of devilish concoctions about anything of the products, and let's hope that peace is maintained instead of any conspiring against people, accusing them of being devils. And I hope everyone's having a good day.